Strength and perform his word, obey the voice of the Lord. Psalms 103:21 states that bless the Lord, all ye hosts who have served him, doing his will. Psalms 103:22 says, bless the Lord, all ye works of his, in all places of his domain. Bless the Lord, O my soul. The last one says, bless the Lord, O my soul. O my Lord, I bless thee. You are very great. You are clothed with splendor and majesty. How many of you all come to bless the Lord this morning? How many of you all out there in our intimate land came to bless the Lord on this morning? This should not be a strange thing to bless him. And we simply bless him because he has blessed us. How many believe that the Lord and no doubt a shadow of doubt is because of his grace and his mercy that we're here today? That's why we bless him, because we are blessed. We bless him because he blessed us. We bless him because he blessed us. We bless him by saying like this. Everybody say bless, 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 bless. Everybody say bless, 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 bless. Jesus. Power in the name of Jesus. Joy 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 in the name of He has done great things. He has done great things. Yes, he has. He has done great things. Let his voice be made. Thank you, Jesus. He keeps making a way. He keeps making a way. He keeps making a way. Let it go. He makes.
In the church for Logan, my dad said he gonna do it back 10:20.
Come on and go over and take a minute. Just bless this thing. Come on. If the little brother came back, bless this name. Come on, bless this name. Bless this name. Lord, I thank you. Lord, if it wasn't for you, I don't know what I'd do. Lord, you are my way maker. Lord, you already worked it out. You keep blessing. You're wonderful. You're awesome. You're glorious. Bless the name. Bless his name. And it's like to bless that wonderful name of Jesus. You gotta look down. Is the excitement for the ones that are here. You know, because the Lord showed up in one or two. Yeah, you know, when they went to fight the battle, they went from thousands down to a small number. You don't need but so many. That's what I'm saying. I want you to be happy with yourself. So you say, why be happy with yourself? Because you took the time to say, Lord, I want to make them come and praise you. Now, I know you can praise God where you are, but sometimes you put a sacrifice in it and go a little bit further. That's wonderful thing. I want to draw from the things today that I look at this stuff and I got it out. It's fit when you get the book back down. From the Gospel of John, chapter 4. Gospel of John, chapter 4. You really need to read 1 through 4 through 7. While y'all turning to y'all, Sister Pam and I have been together for about almost as long as me and Sister Rachel. We got there yesterday, and Pam cut the music off as soon as they listened to it. Pam said, "No, I ain't let my bishop listen to none of this music y'all got." I said, "Lord have mercy, I know God, you doing something now." But y'all know that encouraged me. She said, "No. Pam cut the music off." Even though I guess I may have to confess that I probably was enjoying the music a little bit myself. There's while y'all turning, there's an old lady that I think I said that there's a young lady that my daughter and I sometimes will visit. Her name is Betty Bell Gilmore. Betty Bell is about 90. I think it was Betty Bell must be 96, 98. She'll be something in the late 90s, and I haven't been to see her a while. But we were out there talking one day with Betty Bell. She said, "Son, you don't know, I used to boogie woogie." And I said, "Well, you know, the first thing got me is I understood what she meant. So that made me a little bit older than I should have been, but I understood what boogie woogie meant." But here's what I'm trying to say here. It is all right to have a good time with the right moves. And if a 96-year-old can boogie woogie, maybe some of us can have a good time in the Lord also. Can I get a witness? It's all right to have a good time in the Lord. All right, was not qualified in the Lord. Yeah. All right. Some of us will try to boogie woogie, not even on a different story. All right. Reading from the English Standard Version, St. John chapter 4, in at verse 1. Now, when Jesus learned that the Pharisees had heard that Jesus was making and baptizing more disciples than John, although Jesus himself did not baptize, but only his disciples, he left Judea and departed again for Galilee. And he had to pass through Samaria. So he came to a town of Samaria called Sychar, near the field that Jacob had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there. So Jesus, wearied as he was from his journey, was sitting beside the well. It was the 6th hour, verse 7, and a woman from Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." I'm going to stop right there. I want to talk to you this morning, not too lengthy, hopefully, for this subject. A divine appointment. A divine appointment. A divine appointment. Y'all go ahead and sit down now. I quickly did the biblical look of the words, and the word is divine. Means that one is proceeding, or a thing or a situation is proceeding from God. In other words, it has God behind whatever the circumstances is moving it forward. The word appointment, and I love this, appointment is an arrangement to meet someone at a particular time at a particular place. So a divine appointment is when God arranges a meeting between people or parties at a particular time or a particular place. Now let's look at John now. In John chapter 4, 1 through 7, and the verses preceding, because I just lift 1 through 7 to focus. God had arranged for Jesus to meet this Samaritan woman at the well. Now, for all of y'all who do these theological studies, y'all will say, but behind the world, do you prove that God had arranged this? Well, let me share some facts. When you start reading the text, you find out in verses 1 and 2, you find out that Jesus left Judea because the Pharisees were complaining that he was baptizing too many people, that he was baptizing more than John. And the text says Jesus wasn't doing the baptizing, his disciples were doing it. But watch this. In Judea, there was a complaint and people being aggravated, so Jesus decided to leave. And while Jesus was leaving, I went to the map and I looked. There were two routes to go from Judea to Galilee. There was a water route that would take a longer route, how you could bypass going through Samaria, or you could take the shortest route is to go from Judea through Sychar to get down to Galilee. But Jesus decided to take the route through Samaria. And those of you who know Bible history, Samaritans and Jews do not get along. Because a Samaritan is a Jew that now has been mixed with another nationality, and the Jews were strict about their mixing. Matter of fact, they didn't even worship the same place. There was a bad spirit between Samaria and the Jews. In other words, they're just like some of us today. They just didn't like one another. And you got people today that just don't like one another, and you never know why. I'm trying to figure out right now. But some people just got it in their nature not to like one another. But Jesus was on the way from Judea, and he got, and this is important, he got to the well. He got to this well at the noon hour, and I just want you to see the background. And the time Jesus reached the well, his disciples left to go to town to try to buy some food to feed it. So timing means Jesus was at the well by himself. Well, as soon as Jesus was at the well by himself, here comes a Samaritan woman to the well with a bucket to drip water. Now, here is a woman from Samaria and a man from Judea at the well at the same time, and they don't get along. But Jesus asked the woman, said, look, would you give me a drink? In other words, would you dip the well, dip your bucket, and give me some water? Well, the Samaritan woman said, why in the world would you ask me? You a Jew. I'm a Samaritan. Why would you ask me to get a drink? Because we don't get along. That's the underlying background of the text. And what started happening now is what makes me start talking about divine appointment. Now, see, Jesus was getting away from the foolishness of the Pharisees. And when you get a little background about this woman, you can find out, if you notice close, if you read the text, women during that time did not go at noonday to get water. They either went early in the morning when it was cool, or late in the evening when it was cool. And the other thing they did is they never went by themselves. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a divine appointment. Here she is by herself at the wrong time because she shouldn't have been there by herself at 12 noon, and she meets Jesus, who is a Jew. And then the Jew had the nerve enough to talk to her and ask her to give him some water. Now, why is it divine timing? Because you got to look at the situation, because Jesus was feeling rejected when he was in Judea. If you hear the story of this woman, she was by herself and alone because she was rejected because of her life circumstances in the city that she came from. So why was she rejected? Jesus posed her a question that exposed her rejection. The question that Jesus posed to her after asking her about the water, Jesus asked her a question. Jesus said, when you out here by yourself and you talking, and Jesus asked her to get water, and she started talking about prejudice, and I don't like you, and I don't like you. And Jesus asked her, Jesus said, well, then I tell you what to do. Where's your husband? And she answered, I don't have one. And Jesus said, you are right. Not only is the one you with not yours, but the other 5 that you didn't have in your league. So what I'm trying to say is, God knew this woman's situation, and he wanted to bring about some peace in her life. And what happened was he set up an appointment with Jesus and this woman who was a Samaritan who didn't like him. And now Jesus is here, and Jesus is dealing with her circumstances at this well. A Jewish man, Samaritan woman, nobody at the well, shouldn't have happened. And Jesus telling her, look, you got 5, the one you got in your bosom. And the woman, he shook her. So she said, in her mind, you could tell, she's like, how in the world do you know this? And she said, you must be a prophet. She said, you sound like the Christ. You know, when the Christ comes, he would know this. And Jesus told her, I am the one that we're talking about. I'm the Messiah. But the problem in this text is now said divine appointment. In no other circumstances at a whole would this woman ever be at the well with a man from the Jewish nation by herself. There are times in your life like this. God will allow you to run into somebody that can make a difference in your life. And surprisingly or not, it might be somebody you don't even like. It might be somebody you don't know. So watch this. Let me put you on notice that some of the people that you don't like, that you don't think can help you, that you reject, might be the main ones that God has to move your life to the next level. That person that you meet in your mind by coincidence, God has already sent you an appointment. And you just don't know it's your appointment. But when you get to the appointment, the one thing you do know, you won't leave the appointment like you went to the appointment. I'm talking to somebody now. Have you ever in your life had some of them appointments? I want to put a pin right there now. Just like you can have a positive appointment, there's other folk in your life you bet you should have kept walking. I'm talking to somebody now. You done met some folk in your life that God did not schedule for you to meet. You took time to stop to meet the wrong person at the right time. I don't know, I'm trying to help the folk. There are some people that run into your life that's not a divine appointment. It is a negative coincidence that the devil has planted and set up. Now, what am I trying to tell you? The devil knows your routine, particularly if you want to hear it. And he'll set you appointment to keep you from having any dealings with God. Let me give you one example and then I'll try to move on to don't hold you too long. Have you ever, watch this, have you ever been in a situation that you were over? Let me do this. You were over him or over her? You done cried, you done prayed, you done struggled, you done lost your mind, you done had all of the sisters in the church and the mothers in the church that prayed for you. You done carried at the altar, you done everything you could do, and it took you a little while, but you finally got through. You done read the word of God, and you done start praying morning, evening, noonday, your life feeling good, faith going good, and you went in Piggly Wiggly. And you went into Piggly Wiggly, and guess who walked up? Y'all can see it. Guess who walked up in the Piggly Wiggly? I see none of y'all, a lot of y'all won't confess this. And everything you had elevated yourself to, boom, went right back to the ground. You thought you were over, but you realize as soon as you see him, the devil has done set you back up again. Now, watch this. Why should the devil do this? If it is found proper, then the Lord don't give you nothing that brings trouble along with it. Anything that he gives you is trouble less. Y'all need to get that. I'll have to get that text for you. I had to. That ain't God. He said, because I give it to you, you won't have no trouble with it if it comes from me. That ain't God. So you can have divine appointments, and then non-divine appointments. So the first thing you need to do, you better be able to discern the appointment once you get in the situation. Well, how I discern it? You start looking at what's happening what's happening while you and the other person are together. Now, Jesus made some strong statements in this text. Jesus asked the woman, "Draw me some water." And the woman said, "Well, why do you want me to draw you water?" A prejudice came out. Jesus said, "Well, if you knew who I was, you draw the water because I can give you water." And the woman said, "But you ain't got no bucket." The well deep. You ain't got no bucket. How you gonna give me water? Jesus said, "Not only will I give you water, he said, I'll give you living water that once you drink this water, you won't have to thirst no more." That got her attention. She said, "Well, what kind of water do you have that you don't have a bucket to draw that you can give me, and once I drink it, I don't have to worry about thirsting no more?" In other words, the woman said, this man has something that if I can get it, I don't have to deal with my issues no more. And I want to get beyond this hurt. Now, she was sent to the change, but she didn't know it was a change. Jesus said, "Look, I got living water." I'm like, "Oh, I said, oh, well, living water." Jesus, I
not only do I have living water, the water that I give you will be bubbling up in you all the time. She said, what kind of water is this? And that's when you hit her. But because she was connected now, focus on what Jesus said. And that's when Jesus hit her with it. 5 husbands. And the one you with wasn't her. Talking about this sermon today is not about marriage and divorce. But boy, I want y'all to know, when I started reading this, I just got all distracted because I'm like, wait a minute, man, you know what we teach? And this woman had 5 husbands. Now, some of them could have died, but I won't leave all of them dead, so that means she's been married 5 times. That means she's been divorced and now remarried, and on the last one, check. Because Jesus, now this ain't your husband either. I'm just reading the text now, I'm going with the text. Jesus said, this ain't your husband either. So you got 5 divorces and a check. And Jesus said, I can give you some living water. I'm still in the book now. I ain't going out the book. 5 divorces and a check. Jesus, I can give you some living water. But guess what now? As soon as the conversation got good with them, this is the problem with a crowd. I don't care even if they're religious or saved people. Saved people bring their issues. I'm almost through. Saved people bring their traditional holiness, but not real holiness. Why do I say that? Because the disciples come back from buying the food. And when they got to the well, they started going like, why is Jesus talking to her? First off, she's a woman by herself. That don't look good for the king. The second thing is, not only is Jesus actually talking to a woman, this is a Samaritan woman. So in other words, what is the master doing? That's what his disciples are going through in their mind. But what they did, they were just thinking it, and they didn't really say it out loud to Jesus. They were just talking to one another. So when they came up with their isms, the woman now was already so affected by Jesus until she ran back to her city. And when she got back to her city, here's what she said. Come and see a man that has told me all that I've done my whole life. And watch this now. I need y'all to see this because it's you. Here is, I got to do this because I know this is a must. Here is a woman that has not gone through any baptism, has not had any theological training, has not gone through any new membership class. Had not been to church that day. But here's what she got. She left with a testimony. Y'all I need y'all to get that. Because we get a lot of times in church today, we killing ourselves trying to look holy. Put the stuff in to make sure we look holy. Now, training is good. The Bible says study to show that. Cool. I'm not kicking studying, but studying without the Holy Ghost becomes problematic. You really not being educated, you really being uneducated to what you should be educated for. But here's this woman. Here's this woman. Here's this woman. Watch this. Here's a woman that was rejected in the city. Her testimony was so powerful. The people that rejected her decided they wanted to go to the well themselves to see for their own self. Oh, y'all, I'm trying to get something. I'm trying to get somebody. How many of you got a testimony? Watch this. And a testimony is telling somebody about the test you've been through and how God brought you through. Come on. See, before you can get all this other stuff, you got to have a testimony that Jesus is real to you. How many of you really have a testimony this morning that Jesus is real to me? Now, I want him to be real to you, but I got to get him real to me first. But before I can do anything by helping him get real to you, he got to be real to me first. I can leave home a 5-time divorcee and shackling and meet Jesus. And he can turn my life around between the well and getting back to my house. Y'all know. It don't take much for the Lord to turn your life around. I'm talking to somebody. You have a place in your life right now. You just leaving the well. They got some folks just leaving the well. And I want you to know, I don't want you to leave the well without allowing the Lord to turn your life around. Because the Lord will look into your situation, tell you your issues. But it's still up to you to deal with it. Oh, y'all missed that. Y'all missed that. You see him? Jesus told the disciples how long I can do for you what you can do for yourself. There are some things that the Lord done tell you in the Word, showed you in the Word, and preached to you in the Word, and prayed about it in the Word, and it ain't fixed because you don't want to let it go. Oh, I'm going to prove that right now. There are some things you got to let go. Johnson, how you going to say something to let go? The text doesn't say that there's a woman let nothing go. Yes, the text did. The text said she left her bucket. Y'all better read it. Now, the text says she left her bucket that she used to draw physical water. She got so excited after Jesus that she left the bucket. You got some buckets with some stuff in it. You better leave at the well with Jesus. You can't take it back with you because the stuff you take back with you going to bring out the same old problem. Watch this. Let me bring this home right now. The physical bucket then is your heart today. There's some things that you carry in your heart. You're going to have to leave at the well with Jesus. There's some people that you carry in your heart because your heart can't get better because you still got the bucket with you. And what was in the bucket is still in the bucket. Now, some of y'all are going to get really deep on this. Well, Pastor, if she went to the well with a bucket, the bucket had to be empty. So the bucket was empty. So why are you talking about something had to be in the bucket? Well, I'm glad you look at it like that. If your bucket was empty, that means you worse than having something in it. That means you dry. Empty means you dead. It means you don't have no life. So not only if you have a little something in it that will mess up, you have something, but you don't have anything. You're dry, you're dead, you ain't have no life. So if you want to do life, you have to leave the dry, dead stuff by the way. Yes, he goes. I'm almost gone. Now, many of you can testify this morning, and this is a personal testimony, that you have met Jesus in your life. See, I don't care how long you've been going to church, I don't care how long I've been preaching, I don't care how long somebody singing on the choir, I don't care how much you're giving. The question is, while you on this journey, have you met Jesus in your life? Watch this. And I'm sure that there were many times in your life that Jesus has an appointment with you, but you try to change his schedule. What do you mean you try to change his schedule? Because right where Jesus was supposed to meet you, instead of stopping and listening to him, you need to turn around and went back or pass him by. I came by this morning to tell you, don't pass by Jesus. But make it work for me today, Pastor. Make it work for me today. Don't pass by somebody that's giving you the word. Because he said he is the word. He was the word. The word was with God and the word was God. So if you get the word, you're getting Jesus. Getting Jesus, you're getting God. So don't pass by the word. And isn't it good if you can read? You don't need nobody to read. Can't you ask God for discernment and understanding? If you just pick up the words and read it. Here it is. I just like that. Now this lady started, and I'm done right now. This lady, this is how I started this thing. Because I was looking to show a simple message of evangelism. This lady is an example of the most simple method of evangelism that I can see. She met Jesus. She was impacted from meeting Jesus. And she went and told the whole city. I would venture when they said the whole city, she went and told the 5 husbands and the one that was shaking. Come see your man. Can you imagine going back to your house telling your husband, your boyfriend, come see your man? Some folk now probably beat up. Tell her, you coming to tell a man, come see a man. She said, but come see a man that has told me everything that I've done. Now, I'm going to close the thing, but I want you to notice now, when you meet Jesus, the thing you've been trying to hold on to, you may not have to cut it loose, it may cut you loose. Y'all. Because I know, in my mind, I text that to say this, but I can use my pastoral privilege and look behind this text, and I want y'all to know, I believe that the man she was shaking with, he wasn't happy after she met Jesus. Because some things around the house changed. Oh, y'all. And the first thing around the house that changed was he wasn't around. He wasn't around the house no more. And watch this. And when he left the house, most of the problems in the house got better. Y'all, because now her conscience started getting better. Because that which she was doing that was sinful, after having the impact with Jesus, I believe that she left it alone. She came home, and not only did she tell the people in the town, come see a man that has told me all I've done, she went and told him that I can't live like this no more. Y'all are doing it. Well, before I went to the well, I thought you were everything. After leaving the well, I think Jesus is everything. Because she said, come see a man. So, in other words, there are different characteristics of a right man from a wrong man. And that's not my subject. I'm going to throw this out for a quarter. Anytime you choose the wrong one, you're always going to look for turmoil. Lord have mercy. I want y'all to know, I know y'all don't like to hear this, but way back here under the Bible, girls couldn't get married without parental permission. No. Here's some stuff I know that's going to work for democracy today. But look at the divorce rate, look at the trouble, look at the criminal sexual violence and all the stuff that's going on. You got to understand, during the whole day, to get married to somebody, you had to check in with the daddy. Oh, what would happen if you would let some of them fellas check in with your daddy? Y'all, I ain't getting no evidence on that. What would happen? You would never have to worry about a heartbreak because daddy was going to make sure he is up to par. Y'all, and I get concerned sometimes. how women of standard that come from a good background get tied in with some of the most hooded stuff. It's something about, how can I say this? It's something about wanting somebody that don't come up to your religious standard. I just think it looked good. But I hear the things that everything glitter ain't gold. A lot of times things that look good for you don't work well for you. But anyhow, it is, now this wasn't to take this to speak. Anyhow, this woman, like this, in today's time, we might call her an evangelist or preacher. And I want y'all to know, she didn't go through an alternation, an installation, no ordination. She wasn't installed after an interview. One thing she did was met Jesus, gave him her heart, and he turned her life around. Now watch this. She wasn't a theological expert. She couldn't go in the Bible and maybe tell you principles and statutes and rules. But here's what she could tell you. She could tell you, I was at the well, and I met a man that told me about myself. Lord have mercy. I met a man that after I heard him, I changed his life. I met a man that after I heard him, the only thing I wanted was for you to get what I had from him. Oh, so churches for equipping people. But if you have met Jesus and you got a testimony, you can do more in the streets than I can do in the pulpit on Sunday morning. I don't know if you want to go to that. And I want you to know you're not too old and you're not too young, because the older people got more testimony. And the young people got some new testimonies. You see, if young people would take their testimonies when they get with their friends instead of getting quiet, if they would step up in the middle of the crowd and say, no, you know, that ain't gonna work. I know it ain't gonna work because I tried the same thing. But the Lord worked this out for me. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear nothing about the Lord, but you got to understand, God has been good to me. When I look back over my life and see where he brought me from, God has been good to me. See, that's why you got to tell him. And if you got the Holy Ghost now will work on them. Y'all look at me. I said the Holy Ghost will work on them. You tell them God is good. God is merciful. God made a way for me. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the Christians. I said, somebody ought to be able to testify how good God is. And I want you to know, as I go to my seat, the most important thing that I read in this text, when I first read it, I thought the most important thing was the woman. But if you go down to verse 41 and 42, that's the most important thing I read in the text. Here's what happened. The people from the city, because of her testimony, went to the well. Look, watch the whole city went to the well. And when they got to the well, what's this? They didn't leave the well until Jesus agreed to come live in the city. Now here is a Samaritan city asking a Jew to come stay 2 days with them. Y'all gotta get that now. So the important thing was Jesus at the well changed the whole city, but that still wasn't the most important thing. That wasn't the most important thing. Verse 41 and verse 42, 41 through something that area. The most important thing I read was this. As I go to my seat, the people told the woman, like this, that outcast, rejected woman, everybody in the city talking about it. And here's what they told the woman. We believe not because you told us. We believe because we have met Jesus ourselves. So all I'm trying to do is hear somebody else and you meet Jesus yourself. Jesus will make you love your enemy and invite them into your home, make you share peace with them. And then in these times that we're living in now, we need to know how it is to meet Jesus and have his power. And God knows that our cities need it now, being the turmoil. Being the turmoil right now. There's so much hatred, cultural hatred. And if God don't move sometimes soon, I don't know what's going to happen. Y'all, we are so close to turmoil. Anybody acting like it's all right? As African Americans, you're on the verge of going back to past the 50s and the 60s, and you think it is all right. As I get ready to go, y'all know my little grandboy lives with us. And my kids are growing now. You know they're growing. All you can do is advise them. But a lot of times, I got this little thing that I do with my little grandboy. We call it noogie. He'll catch me, or I'll catch him. We always playing with noogie. And here's what I think. And I'll share this with you. That all of y'all who got grandkids and nieces and nephews and people who you know who love. With my age now, if I'm around another 15 to 20 years, God is merciful. But this young, my little grandboy, if everything worked right, what you need, got another 60 or 70 years more. And I can't even leave this world and let him have to go through what I had to go through. He cannot go back to a world of the 20s and the 30s and the 1600s. And if it's a choice between me and him, then I have to go. I have to go. Because I'm not going to leave this world and not do what I can to make sure he got a chance. I've had a chance to live some, but my little man boy, I can't let him live in slavery. It's time to check out. The Lord knows I don't want to go. But it ain't much a choice between me and you. We will run around thinking everything all right. Living from day to day in our pocket. We don't praise God, we don't study, we don't pray, we don't tell God nothing. And we don't take time to look at it. Forget about me. What about the next generation? You see what they're doing in Texas, Arizona? See what they did on the 6th? You think I'm okay, see? And you run around here with your hands in the ground like horses, trying to hide. You don't want to lose your house, your car, your money, your name, but you leave your child and your grandchild to suffer because you want, because of your materialism and your ignorance. We need a better experience. I'm talking about us now. We the woman at the well. We need to meet Jesus. Because that's the only way out for us. That's the only way out for us now. There's a special coming on tonight about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Y'all ought to look at it. A special coming on tonight. There's a book called Juneteenth. I'm listening to it right now. Yo, I'm glad now you don't have to read the Bible. Listen to a book called Juneteenth. You ought to listen to it. There was another whole city in Florida that was destroyed last day. And there was one in North Carolina. Same thing happened. I could tell you stories of history. And you know what's being said? We don't want to teach this in the school because it causes plunder. Raped with children, stole wealth, burned down the churches, adopted hospitals, took my money, burned down a Wall Street, and then you don't want to talk about it. And not only do you want to talk about it, you don't want to teach it in the school. Well, I get you glad. You know, the Jewish people taught their children at home. You're going to have to start teaching your children at home about your history. In the church, we got to stop being super spiritual. We got to stop teaching our children in the church. The law applies to the public school, but it don't apply to your home. It don't apply to your church. They need to know. Because I don't know if it's a divine appointment, but we are headed to an appointment and turmoil and trouble in this country. If God doesn't do something, soon, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. And let me tell y'all another thing as I go to my school. I got Ancestry.com. Any of y'all do Ancestry.com? I got Ancestry.com. When I go back past my granddaddy, my daddy's daddy, old man Haley, L.I. I don't know what L.I. stands for, what's up big. When I go back past him, I got so many white people in my family. When I started tracing my family background, I was blown. You know, I traced my family back to one of the presidents of the United States. And it ain't Obama. And it ain't Bill Clinton, the other black president. That's a joke. But y'all, it's time the church got to take a stand. We need one of those experiences where we meet Jesus at the well. He tell us all about us and what we need to do and what we need to do. All right, y'all, that's the lesson for the day. I thank y'all. I'd like to say as we get ready to go off what I call off air, I guess. Now, there is no excuse for us not taking our vaccine. I had a young man yesterday told me, he said, yeah, I believe I'm going to take mine. I don't see everybody taking a lot of stuff ain't happening. Once you get your vaccine, you can come back to church. There's no excuse for not taking your vaccine. There's no excuse for not opening up the church door. Yeah, you can watch in your bed. And yes, I want you to watch in your bed. Yes, people that live with distance, I want you to watch long distance. But I do want you to come to church also. And I want you to honor your church because we need you to give your testimony to other people to help the kingdom grow. So you need to come so we can equip you. So I'm telling you, y'all, I can't mandate it. I'm not mandated, but I can request taking shots. I request that as a human person. Taking shots. Come on back to church. Get up out the bed at your pajamas. Now, that's not talking about sick and all of that. Certain reasons people can't come. Young people, it's time to come back to church. We need you because there's a message that needs to get out. So as we sign off, all our members, please remember your financial obligation. For those of you who want to give to this ministry, you see the handle at the bottom. God bless you. We love you. And hopefully we'll see you next Sunday. And hopefully we'll see you.
Amen. God bless you all for coming on tonight, this morning.